Hello, my infidel friends and fake Christians. The subject of this video is a continuation of a controversial passage in Deuteronomy 22 from 28 to 29, and also a response of the comments made on my previous video. So in my opinion, some scrupulous people, mainly Christians, imply a type of consent in this passage, right, from the immature female child. That's nasty. But okay, whatever. Taken from my previous video, I fully agree that the original Hebrew Bible quote in the Tanakh, which is basically a plagiarized version into the Old Testament by the Christian, is not exactly the same as in this video that I'm going to talk about it, but it does bear significance relevant because it carries on. So the passage in this context involves a sexual intercourse, leave it like that, to a child. And I'm not putting age type, just leave it like that. Leaving aside the force behind, because the different interpretation of the Bible, it reflects the type of female and the type of injury to the girl, or the type of assault. Now, what I'll be focusing mainly here is the payment side of it, and the act of the arranged marriage, because I'm going to show two videos. So the main purpose of the video is to actually show how disgusting this antiquated belief system is, and also still practice it in our current times by the third world countries, or most of the third world countries. Nowadays, in more civilized country, mainly the Western world, we do not allow that type of bullshit. Okay, these type of barbaric behaviors. And nowadays, in most civilized countries, and mainly in the western side of it, we do not allow this type of bullshit to happen. Okay? This type of basically barbaric issues. So we are far better now as a society in respect of the old Bible tradition, except from the religious preachers nowadays that want to make money explaining away all traditions shown in the Bible passages. Absolutely freaking nasty. So what I'm going to show you now, and this picture, I'm going to put it as my thumbnail. It was like a teaser. You may be able to identify who it is or whatnot, right? But I will explain that later. So first, I'm going to show you a map. This map is the subject of my video clips I'm going to show. The top right-hand side is Yemen, which is in the Middle East, obviously. And the square at the bottom is Malawi, a part of South Africa. These two events based on arranged marriages, which is consequent or after Deuteronomy 22, 29, 28, 29, right? Which is the effect of getting married. But this one is equally bad because it's based on an act preceding engagement. But these two at the top, bottom, is reflecting arranged marriage, which is nasty. So now I'm going to put in top the text passages. So as I said here, the Bible interpretation can vary amongst individuals, religious denominations, and scholars. The passages address a scenario where a man forces a virgin, emphasis in man, right, forces a virgin and who is not engaged not to have sex relations with him. And so you can divide that in three sections: the man, the virgin, and the act. The consequence of interaction, or sexual interaction, involves a financial payment to the girl's father, dowry or whatever the fuck they're going to call it. And the man is required, the man that slept or had this type of interaction with a female, required to marry the girl, which is marrying a victim. If it's not a victim, it's consent. Remember that. It's either one or the other, right? So I'm going to explain, I'm going to give a question to Alan Parr, and it's based on this. Be married forever. That's like, you know what I mean? That's like locking the key of the jail and throwing the key away. Suffer there. So now I'm going to show you the passages where it shows in the 55 different type of Bibles in the Bible Hub. I've put it in order from top to bottom, from youngest to oldest. And 13 versions is from a girl. And some of them, it just says a girl. And the consequence, which is raped a girl, raped her, and too strong, and he has sex with her, and has sexual relations with her, lies with her. So they put emphasis on girl and the type of effect of sexual activity, rape, lie with her, whatever. So 10 times with a damsel, age category. 11 times, remember, out of 55, 11 times is a young woman. One time only in the Bible, or one definition of what is the contemporary English version, is categorizing saying a woman. A woman forces her having sex. A woman, not a child, not a girl, not a damsel, a woman. Only once. One time for a maid, indefinite thing, but we should say that it's an adult person adult female trying to work or whatever, a maid. One time for a lady. A girl it would not be a lady, so it's a mature person, a lady. 18 times, this is the disgusting side of it in the Bible. It's unknown, or in other words, undetermined. It doesn't say somebody was raped, like that. Yeah, you don't know what age of the female. And these are the dishonest cowards in Bible copies. Really disgusting. So we don't know how old, rapes her. We don't know, rapes her. We don't know, rapes her. That type of thing. Atrocious. So to make a simplified version, 55 Bible interpretations from Bible Hub, 13 times for a girl, 10 times for a damsel, 11 times for a young woman, 1 time as a woman, 1 time as a maid, 1 time as a lady, and 18 times for an unknown age. And 11 of these 55 mentions rape directly. So according to Alan Parr, the Bible, whoever translated the Bible, these people need to contact Alan Parr because Alan Parr knows better, and apparently it's not rape. If it's not rape, it's consensual. Simple as that. It's black and white. It's almost like a true dichotomy. So, okay, we got this out of the way. Let me switch it off. And we got the Yemen side of it. We take that off. We're going to see the video now. The video is about, it's 2 parts or 2 sections of the video, which is about an hour and a half each. And I will leave the links in the description so you can see it fully if you want. If you dare, Christians, right? The first part is the story of a child out of 16 children, right? Female child, right? She was married off at the age of 8, and then held by some of the in-laws to be raped and later beaten by her husband. Fucking nasty piece of work. And the Yemen one is, where this happened, is a country where it does not recognize marital rape. So it's okay to rape the wife at whatever age, and it's not a crime. And it has got no minimum age marriage. Nasty in Yemen, nasty people. So basically, it's a patriarchal society where male power over women, where females are just objects of financial negotiations for arranged marriages, and the father of the girl is the only one that financially benefit from it, at least in a direct manner. Yeah, he may or may not give money away or whatever, but he's the one who's receiving the dash, and totally disregarding the girl's future and well-being, like he doesn't give a shit. In Malawi, the southern part of in Africa, a child marriage, she says, at 12, I was sold into marriage for $9 by my grandmother because the parents disappeared for whatever, right? And beaten by her husband as well. They said both of them are beaten. So let me show you the video, okay?
Nujood Ali was just an 8-year-old child when her father arranged for her to get married. She was one of 16 children. She loved school and playing games.
16 fucking children. This idiot guy, father, right, has got nothing better to do that within a period of 16 years, impregnated her wife, right, obviously 16 times, minimum once a year, 16 times, popping out children. And if he pops out girls, that's money in the bank. It's disgusting.
With her brothers and sisters.
They got me clothes. Remember, this is an 8-year-old girl at that time, and they buy her clothes. All of a sudden, oh, look at that. There you are, some clothes for you. And of course, she's going to say, oh, look at that, new clothes. What would that be? Let's carry on. Well, how would it be? Putting makeup, right? An 8-year-old for a purpose.
وأنا حتى صغيرة كنت فرحة بالأشياء هذه بس مش عارفة إني زواج أو إني.
Okay, so obviously this girl is talking about it after the fact, right? She was never told at the time they're offering that she's gonna get married. 8.
زواجا.
The man she married was 3 times her age.
So remember the issue about the 3 times, okay? That's what one of the questions I'm gonna ask Alan Parr. 3 times the issue, right? So it's 8 times 3, 24. Minimum this geezer was 24 years of age. And the guy on the right, this guy here, yeah, is the father of the girl.
He was a delivery driver who lived in a distant village. Nujood's father.
You see the face of this guy? They are, at that time, it was after the fact, obviously, and they were in a court because some issue about the marriage deal, right? That we'll show you in a minute.
Made a deal with his family.
أنت ليش زوجت نجود؟
والله زوجت أنا من ظروف حق.
I married off her because of some compelling circumstances. Or guess what? 16 fucking children is a compelling circumstances. But why can you fucking cut your dick off and you don't have any compelling circumstances? And he's saying that like if he's chilling the guy. Yeah, you know what? I had some fucking issues. Yeah, so I had to sell one of my daughters. Just like that.
كمت علينا. وكانت الحالة متعبة.
Things were difficult. And he's smoking away, like, you know what I mean? Like if it's not cheap.
ولا حد وسع.
This is fucking nasty. This is the actual, well, not the actual. This is one of a typical wedding day or wedding ceremony. Some dudes are having a ball of a time. And remember, this is one of the potential sexual offenders of young girls in the future for them. It's going to be exactly the same thing. Look at the fucking grown man here at the bottom right. Yeah? Oh man, I'm fed up with this. I need to go to my 6 wives.
There's something very different about weddings in Yemen. At celebrations like this, the groom is front and center.
Like the main person. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm going to get my woman tonight and she doesn't even know that I married her. That is so patriarchal. So much abuse of women. And children. Female children.
But you don't see any women. Not even the bride. And when the bride is a child, she's locked away. Sometimes not sure what the celebrations are all about.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. You gotta... They already... That's kidnapping for all intents and purposes, right? So they seduce her with clothing and gifts. They put her in a room, in a controlled environment, obviously against her will, or at least they don't know, they don't tell her what it's all about. Fuck me, she's gonna get married and raped that evening. That's a foreseeable thing. That's what's gonna happen, or that happened at that time. Nasty piece of work.
جالسين يتكلموا ويفتحوا المسجلة يغنوا لما المغرب كل واحد يرجع على بيته.
See? Now she's talking about that event. They had a party, they had a music, this and that, and everybody fucked off. And what happened? So, okay, so everybody's going, she didn't have any part of the thing or whatever. She was just listening. I'm fed up, but let me go home. Thank you. I enjoy my new clothes. See you later. I want to go. Right? They say you are married. So she's not present on, in the marriage ceremony, an alleged marriage ceremony, and all of a sudden, when the male abusers fucks off, she's already married. Just like that.
Nujood's father was following a very common practice in Yemen. Parents arrange marriages for their children when they're very young.
Okay, now if you got 8 very young, can you imagine what else they would do?
بس ما فكرت بأنه هذه الطفلة اللي هي نجود بأنه عمر 8 سنوات لما راح يدخل فيها الرجل راح يسبب لها جروح.
أنا
Yeah, let me see the excuse.
فكرت أن قالوا لي لم.
So this is why the case went to court. Okay? Well, first of all, she escaped, right? She escaped, and then somebody found her, whatever, and then this got blown out of proportion. That's how we know that what happened. And the photo of the man and the father being in court is because the husband raped her, right? Or what they had intercourse at that time, when allegedly they had an arrangement that they can only have intercourse, or he fucking her, at the time of puberty. So, but this guy in the wedding night could not be bothered to wait. Okay?
يدخل عليها بشيء إلا بعد مدة طويلة.
After a long period of time. Where is that a verbal thing? Is that contractual? Is it written or whatever? No, nothing. It's just the father saying, listen, don't touch my little girl, my 8-year-old girl, until she reached puberty. Nah.
عند البلوغ.
عند البلوغ أيوة بعد ما تبلغ بسنة.
Only a year later, 9. Sounds similar to Islam? Very fucking similar. Yeah, so 9-year-old is a thing over there.
وما فيها الرجال ما يعني ما بزها.
But the man, listen, the man did not respect her. What part of man you not fucking getting? Man, child, man, 8-year-old, man, 8-year-old. What part you don't fucking get? That's abhorrent behavior.
ولا احترمها ولا احترمنا.
اعتدى على جنسيا في ليلة الدخلة كان غصب عني.
See, now establishing, and this is by the horse's mouth. Screw the Bible. This is the Bible. They could have made it up, but this is not made up. This is real. Somebody married off. She could even do the Alan Parr scenario thing. Oh, they had a consent sex. Even if you entertain that, and then she was forced to marry her, she was abused. So that's the next step, getting married. And she was abused. But this is worse. Well, not worse. It's similar, because this one, she did not know about it.
لأنه كنت أنا وأمه وأخته ومرات أخو جالسين.
And listen to this. Well, look at it. She was with her mother-in-law, with her sister and the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law. Think about this carefully. So she's in the room with the mother of the groom, and her sister.
فمرات أخو خرجت بقيت أمه وأخته فاعتدى علي كان يقول ما في الله أن أنتي الآن كنتي مرتي خلاص.
So if he says he assaulted her, that means the mother and the sister of the mother was there.
أمها موجودة كانت لما اعتدى عليك جنسيا؟
أي لأني أمه كانت ماسكة لي.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up. The mother of the son and her auntie were holding this 8-year-old child. Bang, bang. Yeah? Now picture that, Alan. Picture that. You got your fucking child there that you sold off. Allegedly. Imagine that, right? Scenario. She got it pinned down in a bed, and the mother of the son is holding one of her arms, and the sister is holding the other one, and the husband, allegedly husband, is banging your 8-year-old child, like what she's saying. What would you say? Don't you think that's fucking disgusting? And you got the audacity to say that it's, consensual. Consensual. 8-year-old fucking consensual. Give me a fucking break.
مسكاني هكذا. وأنا طبعا كنت بين صحيح بس ما في حد مني يجي يساعدني.
In the Deuteronomy, it also says about screaming. Obviously, that's pre-engagement. But this is exactly the same thing. This is a girl that's saying no is no. And Alan, you know what no means. If a woman tells you no, no doesn't mean yes. No respect, not even for an 8-year-old. I finished that with a video. Now we come into the other one, okay? This is in Africa, in Malawi.
Ndina mabanya ndiniteka 12. Ndiniteka 12 ndine kawe mpekedzeko. Ndina mabanya ndiniteka 12. Ndine kawe mpekedzeko. Nopo ndine mimbe myezi 9.
So straight. She gets married at 12. The other one is at 8. Same thing. Like 4 years later, but still, she's a girl, a young girl. And within the night, whatever that fucking means, she gets pregnant.
Nya chimene chitika ine kuti ndikupita sukulu yoncho ndinangova anthu ndikulali kubwera mamuna ndalama koma ndamazoli ankandoza kuti ndamazaraja kale loza ati nkwete ndene ndinakana poone kuti ndikupita sukulu kundika.
She's refusing the fucking marriage, but still now fucking. Well, she's been coerced. That's coercion. Don't worry, everything should be fine. It's all to help your parents. A 12-year-old child, she cannot make that type of decision. And that makes the parents absolutely fucking irresponsible parents. That have to say, oh, sorry, daughter, young virgin daughter, can you please marry this guy so you can pay for my fuck-ups, adult fuck-up? Nasty!
And how much money did he give your grandmother to marry you?
15,000.
$9 fucking US. That was her fucking worth. Unfortunately. Sad. So $9, you destroy a young lady's future. For $9 fucking. Not that price is in the equation. Because it should not happen in the first place. At all. But... So the poor girl didn't know anything about it, and all of a sudden the grandmother had money and started buying grains, right, to make bread or whatever, right? And then she's intelligent enough to say, Granny, how the hell do you get that? How do you get the money? She's thinking, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter how I got the money. Yeah, I'm feeding you, right? Like if that's okay. The grandmother, that's how fucking bad the culture goes from back from generation to generation. The further back, the worse fucked up it is. What could a poor 12-year-old do wrong, apart from being fucking forced to be married, being abused? Imagine her fucking frame of mind. How the hell can you justify that in a religious context? How the hell? It started with the fucking Jews, because it's their law. The Christians borrow it, according to the Old Testament, and Alan Parr is saying, it's consensual, don't worry about it. It's only consensual. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. When he ran away, because social service came along, it was like a floodgate of a happiness. Okay? She stopped being abused. She stopped being beaten. She did not want that. And the fucking religion is the cause of it. So, back to Alan. So, my question is to you, Alan. Under Deuteronomy 22, 28, 29, would you sell your virgin daughter into an arranged marriage to a grown-up, like this lady at the bottom, 3 times her age, let's say 8, and the man is 24, even in your fucking stupid excuse that the child allegedly consented? Because that's your fucking excuse of that verse. So, that's why I put there, Daddy, I did consent, very sarcastically. I said, Daddy, I did consent So, what would be your answer? If no, then you are not willing to practice what you preach, making you a dishonest person or dishonest Christian. But if you say yes, right, then you are a bad parent, right? But you got a third option, is not answer. If you not answer, you are worse. You are worse because you are hiding your guilt, because you haven't got the fucking balls to say, oh shit, no, I cannot say yeah, I cannot say no, because the Bible says that it's okay. Or I have said, because you are specialized in religion, in the Christian religion, to make bullshit up, eisegesis, right? And you're making your own versions, right? And selling it in your website because you are the next level. Remember the next level? Well, this is your fucking next level. How do you square this issue? How do you square this issue? I leave it to you, Alan. See if you are half honest. I only give you half honest. I know it is digging in, but this is a shock and awe, like George W. Bush, to see if you understand, yeah? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice one.